On Tuesday night in Bluford, the Webber Trojans were at home, looking for their 4th straight win of the season. The opponent, the Hamilton County Foxes, who came in with a perfect 6-0 record, fresh off a tournament victory at the Foxes Invitational. This would be the 3rd game in 5 nights for the Webber Trojans and their 2nd Black Diamond Conference opponent. First-year coach Jackson Helm leads the Trojans. Doug Miller, longtime coach now of the Foxes. Early in the contest, the Foxes seemed somewhat sluggish, couldn't get anything going offensively. Maybe a little bit of tournament hangover from last week. The lid was on the basket, the ball wouldn't go in, and the offense just didn't look very sharp. Meanwhile, the Trojans would get the ball and run. And this nice pass from Nathaniel Marlowe down to Dylan French for the breakaway. Later on, the Foxes continued to look for some offense. And finally, after a double team by the Trojans, they found Eli Hansen open underneath to finally get on the board. But they didn't get back on defense. And another layup there by Damian Fleemer is an easy bucket for the Trojans. That was followed by a similar play with Nikos Holm getting behind the defense. And one more time, a beautiful bounce pass from Marlowe to Fleener. And that caused Doug Miller to have to call timeout for the Foxes as the Webber Trojans jumped out early to a 12-2 lead. In the second quarter, the Foxes got off to a quick start and got an easy bucket. But the Trojans answered as they got a nice turnaround jump shot from Nathaniel Marlowe. A bit later, on an out-of-bounds play, Nikos Ohm scores an easy one off the glass for the Trojans, and everything seems to be going their way. Meanwhile, Eli Hansen tries to keep the Foxes in it with a drive down the middle. But moments later, Nikos Ohm uses his strength to go down the lane and score on a second effort to keep the Trojans' lead solid. Then what appeared to be like a scoring opportunity for the Foxes resulted in a missed jump shot and a breakaway to the other end for Dylan French, an easy bucket to put the Trojans up 21-9. The Foxes did finally get another bucket inside from Hansen down the middle, but Nikos Ohm went to work again for the Trojans as he backed his man down in the post and scored again with the second effort to put the Trojans up 23-11. Moments later, Dylan French with another easy layup, and the Webber lead was expanded. Foxes finally get a bucket inside as Webb gets loose to make the score 25-14 with under a minute to play. Then Dylan French uses a little trickery on an out-of-bounds play by tossing the ball off a defender and scoring just before time expires. Halftime score, Trojans 27-14. The Foxes come out of the locker room in the second half ready to play some inspired basketball. And they look to Eli Hansen, who comes across the lane for a nice jump shot to get things started. But the Trojans are able to answer as Nicholas Ohm picks up where he left off as he drives the baseline and kisses it off the glass for an easy deuce. Foxes attack again, and this time a shot is blocked. But Pike follows his shot, gets the rebound, goes back up, and scores. On the next possession by the Foxes, Pike kicks the ball to the corner to a wide-open Ethan Kessler, who buries the three and cuts the lead to 7. After the Foxes cut it to 6 on a free throw, Nathaniel Marlowe buries 2 free throws to keep the Foxes at bay. And then on the next possession, Marlowe stops and pops a jump shot for the Trojans. Meanwhile, the Foxes attack the basket with Caleb Carson. He scores and gets the and one. And then on an ensuing out-of-bounds play, the Foxes look for Carson again inside, and the big man turns around and scores to cut the lead to 35-32. The Trojans continue to be money at the line as Carter Bain makes 1 of 2. Both coaches are into the game as the Foxes are at the line, and 2 free throws are made by Hansen to cut the lead to 36-34. A few moments later, Hansen's there again, and he makes 2 more free throws to tie the game at 36 all as the third quarter starts to wind down. But Ohm finds Fleener on a nice bounce pass for a layup just as the horn sounds to end the third quarter, 38-36 Trojans. Early in the fourth quarter with Webber up by 3, Eli Hansen powers his way to the glass for the Foxes. He gets the layup to cut the lead to 1. But on the other end, the Trojans crash the boards. And after a missed shot by Marlowe, Nikos Ohm is there for the stick back to put the Trojans back up by 3. A little bit later, with Webber up by 5, the Foxes find Court Leakey at the top of the key, and he buries the 3 to cut the game to 2 points. The Foxes had plenty to cheer about here in the fourth quarter as they had all but erased that 13-point halftime lead. But Hamilton County really had no answer on Tuesday night for Nikos Ohm. They couldn't keep him off the boards as he kept getting after it with big rebounds and stickbacks. Ohm missed the and one free throw, and that gave the Foxes an opportunity. On this possession, Andrew Webb will attack the basket for the Foxes, and he kisses one off the window. And now, with a 2-point game, Caleb Carson tries to score. He missed the shot, but Abe Neal is there for the rebound and the stick back, and that ties the game. Webber answers back as Dylan French hits a short jumper in the lane to put Webber up by 2. On the other end, the Foxes find Eli Hansen out at the top, and he buries the 3. That puts the Foxes within 1 with just 2:47 left in the game. Both coaches going over strategies in their huddle during a timeout. This game's going to go down to the wire. Trojans with the basketball. Dylan French works off the dribble, takes it inside the glass, and scores for the Trojans. That puts Webber up by 1. Then on the ensuing play, he gets the steal from the Foxes and takes it down and lays it up. Big play by French. On the other end, Andrew Webb answers for the Foxes to cut it back to 1. Then the Trojans get the ball in the hands of their playmaker, Nathaniel Marlowe. He scores and gets fouled. The Trojans go up by 3. But the Foxes aren't done yet. They get it to Court Leakey, and he buries another triple from the right side. It's tied at 53 all with 40 seconds left. Both sides up cheering for this one. A foul is committed with 21 seconds left, and a free throw is made by Bain to put the Trojans up 54-53. After a missed shot by the Foxes, another foul is committed, and 2 free throws are made by Marlowe. 1 chance left for the Foxes to score. They missed the 3, and that's the ball game. 56-53 is the final. Webber holds on to pick up the win. They go to 5-1 on the season. Foxes dropped to 6-1. New coach Jackson Helm was obviously very happy at the end of the game.
Big win by the Trojans, 56-53. Coach, you had a 13-point halftime lead. You knew they were going to make a run on you. They did in the third quarter, but you bet you didn't break.
Yeah, Coach Miller's a great coach. We knew they were going to come out ready to play. We got a little bit rattled and lost composure a little bit there in the third quarter, had some turnovers. Then in the fourth quarter, I felt like my guys really locked back in, kept their composure, handled the pressure, made big-time plays down the stretch.
Big free throws down the stretch, too.
Yeah, we got Nathaniel Marlowe's a kid he's made big shots in regionals and in sectionals. He sets the line. I feel really good about us having 2 points right there.
You're 5-1 overall. You're actually 2-0 in the Black Diamond Conference now after knocking off 2 BDC teams.
Yeah, playing bigger schools, we're outmatched physically a lot. But the heart that we play with is our difference maker. Our kids play really hard, and I love being their coach.
Playing somebody like El Dorado and now Hamilton County tonight, that's just going to make you better, as you said, and it's going to really prepare you well for the Midland Trail and beyond.
Yeah, the difference between the Midland Trail and Black Diamond schools is football. Yeah. We don't have a football team. Their kids all look different than ours. They look like football players, and that kind of physicality is sometimes tough for us to play against, but I thought that we handled the pressure really well tonight.
You played Friday night, Monday night, and tonight. Those are 3 games, 3 quick games in a short period of time, but yet you still handled tonight. You weren't fatigued.
Yeah, we had a tough conditioning. And another thing that I want to credit to my guys is, playing those 3 days in a row, we didn't have any practices in between. We put game plans in an hour and 30 minutes before game time, and our guys go out and execute. They pay really good attention to details, and they reap the benefits of it during the game.
Congratulations, Coach. Good win. All right, thanks.